Welcome back to Gran Turismo Sport. We've had a bit of a rebrand on the channel now, so we're going under BIC Racing, which stands for Britain Canada Racing, as I've recently moved over to Toronto. But anyway, series will carry on as normal. So we're jumping back into the Stars and Stripes, driving the Tesla around the Dragon Trail course. This is going to be the last episode on the Stars and Stripes Cup before moving on to back to engine-powered cars. But anyway, we're in this race coming into the first corner. We get a bit of a slide on due to the weight of the Tesla. See, we get around the first two cars nice and easily. Coming down this second part of the main straight here. The it's been great in this cup, but I feel like we probably should have moved into something a bit different for this episode. You see, we're moving up, trying to get up the inside of this Dodge there. He goes off to Narnia there as he totally overcooks it. We tried to go around the outside of the little muscle car here, then quick switch to the inside, up his inside on that corner. He pushed him out wide, and it's nice and easy. We're up to 7th so far. Just the 3 laps on this race. We're coming up to the back of another Viper here. We'll go nice and easy, try and go hold it around the outside. We're going to just get boxed in slightly by this old Stingray here, but then he moves it, just gives us just enough room to slip past, and we're up into 5th. 8 seconds off the leader at this point. You can see this group of cars here. We go, again, a bit slidey on the exit of this corner. Coming down onto the sort of back straight here, we go around the outside of the Mustang, and then we're going to cut into the inside to get around these two I think it's an old GT40 and some old Charger here. And we see we've got past the old car, but you see the Mustang just goes straight past us, but we try and get him under brakes, but give him a bit of tap, he taps the Ford. And then we're going to try and hold it around the outside. He forces us wide, but then we just get in front of him because of our acceleration, and we're now just chasing down the leader. We've got 4 seconds ahead of us. And we're coming up onto the back straight here. So this is again in the previous episodes we saw how the Tesla was limited by its poor top speed, but the straight Dragon Trail is quite short, so we just hit our limit just as we come up to the end of the straight. And you see we close up nicely to him in that braking zone. We try to hold around the outside, but he's just got slightly ahead of us still. And then we're coming down towards this second complex here, trying to get in his slipstream, just closing up, heavy on the brakes. And then you see he goes wide, gives us the chance we just close right up to him. Then we're going to go up his inside into this corner here, and nice and easy. And that was it for this race. So we're actually going to skip ahead onto the next race now, which is around the Tokyo Expressway, where this circuit's really, really narrow, so it's quite hard to find space to pass around some of these cars. So it's almost like being on the outer ring road of Tokyo. But anyway, so we start the race coming up to this first group of cars. Trying to close up again under the brakes. We see it's this Mustang again in the orange-red colour. We tried to go for the inside here, but it's quite narrow, so we accidentally give him a bit of a tap. Then he brakes at this corner. We give it a quick tap of brakes. Coming up now to this pickup truck and the new Corvette. We just follow the Corvette through around the outside of that pickup truck. Hit the wall slightly here, and you'll see this will happen quite a lot in this race as the track is just so narrow. Anyway, another tap of the brake, and you see the surface is quite wet on this track, so the Tesla slides around quite a lot. We're going to go try and hold it up the inside of the old muscle car there, nice and easy. And the key to this circuit is just keeping a good flow, so we've just got to try and keep the speed up nice and high. Just closing up to the next one now, going into this heavy braking zone. See, we're not the only ones. You're going to be hitting the wall a lot, you'll see in this one. We'll just have to hit the brakes slightly as he cuts us off, but we get him up through the inside. We've got 11, nearly 12 seconds to the leader at this point, so we've got a lot of ground to close up on. And not a lot of time as it's another 3-lap race. You can see we've just got to keep the speed up and try and avoid braking as much as possible. Give the wall a little tap there. And you can see the next group of cars is just ahead of us, but you can already see that the lead is starting to pull a bit of a gap ahead of those cars. And we haven't got a lot of time to close them up. coming to the end of this first lap with 10 seconds to go to this leader, but we're coming up to this next group of cars. Again, closing up to them in the braking zone. But you see we get a bit of a slide on, but it's not too bad, but we do hit the wall. I'm going to go round the outside of the Ford, scrape the wall, and watch the Viper hit the wall as well. Very American livery he's got there. There we go, we're on the brakes again, coming up to the top of this sort of hill section here. And we're just trying to avoid braking as much as possible. Little dab of brakes here so we can set up the next corner. You can see the, I think it's a Cobra just hit the wall there. Then hold it up his inside. We're in 4th now, 7 seconds to the leader. Now we're stuck behind some sort of, looks like an old sort of family car. We should be able to get him on brakes into this section coming up just now, because he'd be close right up to him. Little clip of the wall with our back end there, but didn't disturb us too much. And we're just trying to get in his slipstream, but you can see he's actually pulling away from us right now, which is utterly ridiculous. But then you can see he must like backs out of it going into that section there, and we just use the wall to sort of bounce our way through. And we're into 3rd now, coming up towards the final corner here. Heavy on the brakes. Clip the wall again and again. It's almost like bumper cars this race. And anyway, now we're coming up towards the line here, so we're onto the final lap, 5 seconds off the leader. So we should be able to close him down there, as we've managed to get gain 5 seconds on him in the last lap. And now you can see the car just in front. I think it's one of the new Mustangs at the moment. I can't quite tell from this distance. Bit of a slide there going into this 3rd corner. Coming out of the tunnel, try and avoid using the brakes at this point, just lift slightly off the accelerator. And you can see we're setting the fastest sector again. So we should have the speed to get this guy at the moment. You can see it's actually it's not a Mustang. I think it's the new Challenger or Charger. I'm not too sure on American cars. But you can see we're now getting the slipstream of this guy. Just close up to the back of him. We look shaped to make a move up the outside, and then he just cuts in front of us. So we're gonna try and go round the inside here. But we get a bit tail happy there. And again, we're just trying keeping his slipstream, just close up to the back of this guy. Just gotta keep doing it. We're coming up towards the final set of corners now, so we've got to make every move count. It looks like the leader's out of touch at this point, but we still want to get 2nd in this tournament, or in this race rather. Yeah, we're just up his inside here, and we're going to go for it into this last corner. Later on the brakes than he is, and then we just get him. Now we just got to keep in front, so we keep in front, just going up to the line now, and it looks like it's going to be 2nd place for us in this race, which isn't the best result, but we've won most of the other race in this championship, so it's not the end of the world, 2nd place finish here. So we'll be moving on to the next race and the final race in this championship. You can see we've actually hit our daily workout goal. So as you know, in GT Sport you actually get a prize car if you hit that goal every day. So just drive a marathon, 26 miles. So we're just going to back out of the championship now to see what our daily workout car is going to be. So it looks like we've got a Ferrari in there, a Ford Focus, and a couple of GT cars there. But we've actually won the LaFerrari. This is actually one of the most expensive cars in the game, so that's an amazing win for us. It's unfortunate it's in black, but we'll obviously repaint that in a future episode, and we might give that a go next time out. But we're just going to jump back into the Stars and Stripes for the final race around Willow Springs. It's a track we've done a few times here, and we know we're pretty confident in this track. So it's once again, it's the longer form of this track, so we're starting from the back, and again we're just going to try and make this race nice and easy and go for the win again. So coming up to the first corner now, a little dab of brakes, coming into the second complex of corners, up the inside of the Viper, take to the gravel a little bit, but then nice and easy around the Mustang. Heavy on the brakes now into the third corner. Climbing up the circuit at this point, up the inside. We give the Cobra an accidentally give him a bit of a tap that pushes him into the pickup truck, but then we just hold it around the outside of both of them, accidentally go off the track slightly, but we managed to keep it going the right way. Now we're coming up to the very top of the circuit at this point. You see we carry way too much speed into there, and the back end slips out. But now we're coming down the hill at this point, up the inside of these two cars, nice and easy. This is one of my favourite little bits of the Willow Springs circuit, where you come through a couple of quick chicane corners, and it has us close right up to the muscle car in front of us, go around his outside, he keeps it in there, but then we on the brakes and into this nice wide section of track here, so it gives you lots of different lines, and we just keep it nice and tight up the middle. Just going up the inside now, the Mega American Viper, climbing up again. This is all nice and easy for us. We're really confident at this circuit. So we're up to third already, 4 seconds off the leader. Go up the inside of the Corvette, heavy on the brakes. And now you can see he's just 3 seconds in front of us. We should be able to get him by the time we reach the top of the circuit. Just nice and easy. You see, it's an old car, which is a surprise. He's actually in the lead anyway, but it just means that we've because of our better acceleration anyway, it should be nice and easy for us. He goes out too wide, accidentally drives into us because he went out so wide off the racing line, which is kind of a failing of the AI in GT Sport compared to some games like Forza, for example. But anyway, we're in the lead now at this point, so it doesn't matter too much. And we're just going to try and go for the fastest lap at this point. And you can see we're overcook it way too much into that corner. But it's not too bad. We're already 2 seconds ahead of the car behind us. Again, going too wide, just overcooking it because we're getting eager to go for this fastest lap. But you can see we've got it already with a 1:23.7. Anyway, we're going up the hill now. No braking this time. Later on the brakes into this corner. Trying to carry more speed this time. Just trying to go and trying to break the 1:22 barrier is what we're after. So we're already half a second ahead of our previous lap. It's much easier when there's no traffic in the way. Climbing up into the next right-hander. Into the left-hander, it's long sweeping corner, little dab of brakes as we come in towards the top of the circuit. We've lost a bit of time in that section, but it's we're still up on our previous best. Dab of brakes into the top of the course. Now we're coming down the hill again. Going to try and carry as much speed as possible through the fast flowy section, and you can see there's a Corvette coming up behind us though, so I'm a little bit worried about what happened in that previous episode where we got beaten to the line, but hopefully we should be just far enough ahead at this point. Accidentally overcook it again into that corner and take to the cut a little bit of corner there, but it's probably slightly slower the way we went it. And now we're going to come to the final corner where 2 seconds ahead of the car behind us, and should be far enough, and he overcooks that corner as well, and there we go for our final win in this championship. So that's it for this episode, and next time we're going to move on to back to engine powered cars. We're looking at probably either giving that Ferrari we want to go, or we're going to give the Group 4 cars a go, and we'll drive the car from my homeland. We'll probably go for a McLaren or a Jaguar. But that's it for this episode, and we'll see you on the next episode of GT Sport.